Hello, today's Re-MINDavator is choice versus decision. I'm Robyn Moore, and I used to think those two words had similar meanings, but not anymore. How do I distinguish between the two? I use what I call the because test. Many years ago, I watched a beautiful interview with an older man who was caring for his wife who was living with Alzheimer's. And the interviewer said, "Oh, you're so caring and loving and thoughtful and patient." And he said, "No, I'm not. I'm just a promise keeper." And I thought, wow, how clear is that? He chose because he was a promise keeper. He chose because he chose. He could have had other decisions where I will do this because society expects this of me, because I made a promise to my wife in our marriage. My family want me to do this. There's no other choice. I'm stuck with this. But he chose because he chose. Years ago, we lived in Sydney, and we made an audacious choice to move back home to Tasmania, our home state, to raise our sons. And this meant that I would be travelling to Sydney 49 weeks of the year, squeezing a week's recording work into 2 days, staying one sleep, and that gave me 5 days home being mum. Perfect. But I was freelance. There were some weeks, I can't tell you how hard this was, but I knew what kept me going. It was my choice to have this be a gift for our sons. And years later, when they were adults, I asked them, "What did you get out of growing up in Tassie?" And they both said, "Mum, we got to be real. Our work was done." I received a lovely email from a woman who was invited by her sister to a public forum in Sydney where I was speaking. She had so many reasons not to come, to be a no. She had lots of becauses, and she wrote in the email, "I didn't want to become because I was too tired. I was busy at work. I had school lunches to make. It was hot. I was already running late." They could have informed her, but she made a choice instead and chose to be yes. And that yes opened up a whole new realm of possibility. She wrote, "Oh, I am so glad I am here. So glad, so glad, so glad. I am not tired anymore. I've learnt so much about me, and life looks different now." You know, the power of a yes, the power of choice. I was a yes last week when I was invited to a luncheon with 5 women. I only knew one of them. Now, I had many different reasons to say no, lots of becauses, but I chose to be a yes. And it was the most outrageous, wonderful luncheon. I have 5 new friends now. I met a woman who was a high-flying financial guru in London who moved to Tasmania to raise her children here with her husband. I met a beautiful woman saving her family's farm and turning it into a B&B that was so successful. An educator, another B&B owner. There was amazing women here, and we all agreed that we were there because we were yeses. The power of yes, the power of just making a choice with one because. So I hope that's given you some clarity between choice and decision. I know from my own personal life that choice gives me inspiration, more power to empower, and creates a life that I love. I hope it does for you too.